Got to record the video. Hey, we're recording video now. Hey, you missed a bunch of stuff we already talked about. Too bad. We're already in the show. I'm not changing it. Okay. Anyway, back to the point. TXK. It's fun.
You had a point?
It's a throwaway little thing. I think it's like $7. It's not a big deal. It's fun.
It'll probably be free eventually, right?
Yeah, probably. I don't know if it'll be part of a PS Plus thing or not, but it's just kind of a small thing, and it's just a thing. And it mainly plays on your nostalgia for that Tempest gameplay. And if you don't have that, then there's nothing here for you. But if you like that old game and you want some of that, I think this is about as close as you're going to get to it.
You want some of that.
You want a little piece of that.
How about some of this?
How about a little some of this? Anyway, that's fun. I've also been playing a game incessantly when I can on the iOS platform, iPad specifically, or mostly, a little bit on the phone, but it's Dungeon Plunder. And you guys already know I'm a sucker for anything with the word dungeon in it.
Did you think it was Dungeon Plunger?
No. No, I have one of those, though. It doesn't work very well. Do you know the plungers? Nicole can relate to this. I don't know why I just said that. Maybe Mark.
Right, Nicole totally understands about plungers. Nicole.
Yeah, Nicole. There's the kind with like the old school cartoon kind, right? With just like the pink nipple at the end that does a good job. It just works.
Yeah, right. That's
now,
simple.
Today in 2014, you can go buy big, gnarly looking, like they're black. They look like a big bell on the end.
Right, with the bell, with the accordion shape.
Yes, one of those.
No, I don't like the accordion ones.
Those don't work.
No.
They'll turn inside out and not work at all. And before you know it, now you just have a poo stick. You're not even dealing with plunging anymore. So I have a real problem with those. I freaking hate those things.
The final score.
With a poo stick.
We always eventually get back to poo.
Always back to poo. Anyway, Dungeon Plunder is a roguelike. Oh, another catchphrase I like. It's super rudimentary looking. It's just a little isometric view of a little pixel dude who's in a little pixel town. And there's different stuff in your way, like there might be like a chest over there, and you're like, but there's gold in there. So you go over there, but it's guarded by like a gargoyle or something. So you go and run over that gargoyle, and now you're taken to the battle screen. And the battle screen is like a 5-lane slot machine.
Oh.
So you go over there, and you got like 5 lanes of stuff, and it could be an arrow, a shield, sometimes multiples of those. For the mage guy, one of the mage characters, there's like mana bottles. I mean, there's all these things that could be in your slot machine. So when you go over there and you hit spin, and then hopefully you get a few, like if you're the warrior, you get a few axes and maybe a couple of shields. And if you do, you can hold those. So you can click hold on the ones that you want to keep, and then spin again, and it spins the ones that you didn't choose. Now you hope to get maybe 3 of a kind, or
really,
full house. Yeah, your slot machines.
Dungeon poker.
Kind of. But dungeon slots, yeah. Except the fun of it is it's actually just more like a straight up old school RPG where you're rolling dice in a way, because there's that luck factor, but you have other skills and abilities. Like some of them will pop.
Tell us about your other skills.
Well, I've got many skills. I've got a very specialized set of skills, and now they're going to take you. Okay, anyway. So that thing spins around. And you choose your thing, and then you do damage, or you cause defense to yourself, or you screw up and don't get anything, and now he gets a shot in, and that hurts you, and you have life points. And you level up, and you gain new gear, and as you level up, you get more life points, and therefore you're stronger, and you can take on harder monsters and go into these dungeons and stuff. And it is the most addicting freaking thing ever. And when you're dead, you are dead. You are done. There is no saving. There is no any of that, but you do get to keep some of the stuff you've unlocked. Kind of a rogue legacy, sort of pass it down to the next generation sort of way. These are the best kind of roguelikes. I mean, some people would say, well, pure roguelike is go in there with nothing, die, and then start over with nothing. These games today are a little smarter about, well, yeah, that's true kind of in a sense. You'll still have to start at level 0 again, but we're going to let you keep the gear from your last death, or 60% of the gold you earned, or something like that. But I love these kinds of games and all their incarnations. I just freaking love them. And this game's totally got everything you need. The combat thing is fun and addicting, kind of in a Vegas sort of gambling kind of way. And I love it. It's really good. It's my favorite, probably my favorite iOS game that I played so far in 2014. I really like it that much. And it's nothing to look at, dude. Ugly game. Like some of the menus and the UI are just kind of throwaway, not very good, whatever. It doesn't matter. It has it where it needs it, and the core is there. And again, that's called Dungeon Plunder for the phone, for iPhone and iPad. It's universal. It's great, really great. So play that Dungeon Plunder If I said it enough, okay, I'm done.
Dungeon Plunder.
Banished for the PC. This is a one-dude operation. I think it was a Kickstarter. I'm not 100% sure on that, but right now it's in early access. $20. And I could not resist. I just kept looking at it going, ooh, you're like a city builder game, and I love those. And it's set in the Middle Ages out in the middle of a forest somewhere, and that looks cool, but I'm going to ignore you for another day. But then the next day, I'm like, oh, there you are again. I totally want to play you real bad. But then I thought, you're a big time sink, and I don't have a lot of time to sink, so I don't know if I should buy you. But then I thought, well, it's only $20, and hey, I want to support these developers who are working on their own and doing amazing work. And
video game buying schizophrenia.
That's exactly what it is. So I did it. I caved and I picked it up. And man, do I not know what I'm doing? I need to read something.
I was looking at the screenshots. And I was like, yeah, I'm not even sure what's going on.
It's intense. I mean, you lay down homes, you lay down an area where you want them to chop wood. You guys, you have your dudes that have different jobs in the town, but you're trying to hurry up and get stuff done before the winter. You're going to die if you don't. So you got to build hunting lodges and hunt down food and then store that food. And there's all this stuff. You got to
go to the bowling alley and play.
Oh. Yeah, but bowling. Oh,
what?
Yeah, wrong era. Not available here. It's all wood, chickens, and freaking trees. I mean, it's just and it's not like you advance into the modern age or any of that stuff. They don't do that. It's straight up, you're out in the middle of nowhere and you got to survive, and your people will only live if you're smart. So I'm just not good at it yet. I did this thing where I said, oh, you need homes for these people. So I put down like 3 or 4 plots, and the people all started working, plenty of stone and wood to start off with. They start working, they build these foundations, and then they just all stop and start wandering around looking at stuff. They're not working anymore. And I can't figure out what I did wrong. And I haven't just buckled and read a guide somewhere, and I will, but I'm a little irritated that it's not more intuitive. There's no tutorial to speak of. It's really pretty and well made. It looks nice.
My favorite games start out pissing me off. So
really,
this goes good.
Oh, you might like it then. I know Scotty D in the community picked it up, and he's probably gonna be the guy to help me with some tips because I'm sure he figured it out. But I'm usually really good at these city builder games. You just give it to me, and I go, okay, great. Roads, businesses, homes, clean it up. Better roads means happier people. Oh, these people need whatever. I mean, I used to play those Pharaoh. That's the itch I thought it was going to scratch, because like Pharaoh and Zeus.
What do you think you need to like build a pharmacy or something to get some ADD medication or something like that? Maybe that you're
maybe because those guys couldn't seem to focus on the task at hand, which was build their damn house.
Scotty D in the chat is in the chat room. He said there are tutorials
in the game. There are.
So wait. So Scotty D just said, read the freaking manual.
Basically, I should have. I didn't know they were in there. I couldn't see any tutorials. But then again, I haven't dug around that hard.
He said if you do the toots, it helps a lot.
Okay. If you do the toots.
That's what he said.
This is so much better. Oh, I can tell what I'm supposed to do now. Anyway, playing Banished. I'll report more when I've had some more time with it. And then I got a hankering, because like I was playing, isometric 3D top-down things. I played, as I never finished it, I fired Shadowrun Returns up again, and they fixed a lot of problems I had with it in the interim. So they've fixed like some of the loading time problems and where some of the save points were and things like that. That's all been improved, and they have an expansion out this week as well. So I kind of want to catch this thing up because I really remember just loving it. I love the original Shadowrun. I really like this one. I don't know why I got off the wagon, but I did, and I'm kind of back in. It's just, I think what it is there's a ton of story. There's a ton of walk up to lady and ask her 50 questions. It's really well done and well told, but I think at the time when I was playing it first, I was like, oh, no time for this. I got other books I have to read, But
I'm a gamer, not a reader.
But I'm into it now, and I'm back, and it's very Blade Runner. It's that whole, dystopic future set in horrifying cityscapes, and people have mutations, and it's awesome. It's my kind of thing. I just need to get back to it. So I'm back to it. I'm going to play that more. I'm digging it. Brian, first time Hawken player. How did that go?
Right. Well, before I get to that, let me just say I just got an email from Radio Shack.
Yeah.
And it's a letter from our CEO, Joe Magnaka. And can I just say he has a soul patch?
No way.
He does. He has a soul patch.
They're changing the hell out of that place. They're modernizing it and like changing the decor.
Looks
and everything.
like they're going. If he had a fedora on, I would go ahead and call him a hipster.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
probably hired him to do this
because he has
thing.
a soul patch.
What CEO comes? He's in like a He's in like some kind of hexagram shape with his face in his soul patch.
Sounds like you're being very judgmental right now.
I am being very judgmental. I expect a certain degree of nerdiness when I go to my Radio Shack, and this dude is not cutting it with his slick back hair.
Be careful. My husband has a soul patch.
Yeah, but he's a woodworker. He's supposed to have one. It's appropriate.
Well, Brian's a beardist, but we knew this.
Right. All right, so back to what I was playing.
Anyway.
Back to what I was playing this week. First time Hawking player.
Yeah.
We talked about this a few weeks ago. Hawking's come to Steam, and so.
Did you call it Hawking? Did you call it Hawking?
Steving. Yeah,
it's Steving Hawking.
Sweet Hawking. So I'm Sweet Hawking.
Okay.
And so yeah, I love mech games. I've always loved mech games, and this is a fantastic romp through getting your mechs. And the mech that I love the best so far was the first one I got, which was just that plain old looks like somebody took the front of a semi truck off and just
like the washing machine front thing.
Yeah.
It's a good model. It's great.
It's fantastic. It's actually the most fun. And wow, would I love to play this like on some virtual reality kind of stuff.
It works. You've got supports the Rift. It's good.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it's really good too, because one of the things I didn't realize it would be able to do is I wouldn't be able to turn very fast, which makes sense. I'm in a mech, so you have this quick whip around with the keys. And I'll tell you that just all of the thought that's gone into the controlling of these mechs is just, I think that's where all the fun comes into play.
I agree. They feel there's a heft to them. They feel heavy.
Yeah.
And you got to be smart about how you use them, how much fuel you're using to do certain things. I like the medium chassis, like you're talking about, because they're essentially three classes in the game. They're small and light, medium, which is what the one you're talking about, and there's others like it, and then the big fatties.
I can't do a fatty.
And the fatty I can do occasionally. It depends on the map and what we're trying to accomplish. So I'll be him occasionally for like. They're really good for command and control kind of domination maps.
Right.
And I've gotten used to one of them. His name is Bumblebutt, by the way.
Bumblebutt.
Gurp and Bumblebutt are my two main mechs. But the middle one just has the right. Everything just feels good, and it feels heavy. And when you shoot something, it feels satisfying and chunky, and it's great. I mean, really, it's just souped up Quake. If you really want to get down to the gameplay mechanics of this thing, it's really not much different than that. But they've done enough. It's on the
Unreal Engine, so it's that Unreal Tournament kind of thing.
Kind of, and it's gorgeous. It looks amazing, and it feels like the tone is just right about this future you're living in and this horrible city you're in, and it's just awesome. It's great.
It is absolutely fun, and I agree with you. Just like a race car game is, to me, it's got to have a good feel to it. The car's got to feel heavy when it turns, and they've got this with the mechanics.
And the details need to be there. Like the gun needs to look rusty, and when it gets hot, it needs to get all red on the tip, and it just needs to feel like a machine that's Brian's red tip. It just needs to feel like a big hunk of machinery that would just be lumbering over a hill and laying waste to what's on the other side, and they've accomplished that really well. And it's hard for me to stop. I've not been quite this hooked into an action game in a while.
Right. Do you prefer a gun with limited ammo or a cooldown like we're using with energy blasters here?
Well, I use in all cases I have unlimited ammo with everything I do, even with Bumblebutt or whatever his name is.
Bumblebutt.
He's all rockets all day, but they don't run out. His secondary is like a heat-seeking swarm.
I wasn't talking about just in Hawking. I'm talking about across the board.
In a game generally.
Right. I kind of get a little bit annoyed with the overheating.
That's a good question. Well, okay, so that medium chassis you're running, that special ability on that specific mech is immediate cooldown,
which I love.
Every 30 seconds or whatever. Right. That's a great feature. I like that it's balanced out by having to wait. So you got to be smart about when you use it. You can't just fire it off willy-nilly. Like I think they handle that stuff really, really well. Better than most games. It's not intrusive and difficult, and to the point where it's like, I don't want to play a simulator. I just want to blow stuff up. But on the other hand, it's not just a pure action game. There are these things to consider, and there's movement issues, and there's overheating issues, and there's your fuel. And the fuel doesn't ever permanently run out, but you got to be careful about how much you're using to hover or to jump or to do whatever. I think it's the right balance. It just feels like all those things are in the right place for me.
This game also is the thing about mechs is it reminds me so much of my childhood when I was watching all this Americanized Japanese mech kind of games where I went back and I watched
Voltron, Robotech, all that kind of stuff.
Exactly, and I went back and I've watched all these Voltron episodes of stuff. Man, it has just sucked me right back into that whole world.
That whole Voltron thing's on Netflix, I think, right? The whole series.
It is.
I think so.
I think the whole series is there, and I've been, I've just been digging into it. So stop
living your childhood.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Stop
it. Killing me.
That's good.
You're killing me.
It's really good.
All right, so.
Also, we need to play, dude. We got to work that out and play. We need to play.
We totally need to play.
Yeah.
But we had talked a while back. NVIDIA had some. This is the next game I'm talking about. Is Max Payne.
Yeah.
Max Payne 3. The reason why I picked this one is because I just got in these 3D anaglyph type glasses, the red cyan kind of glasses.
The ones from NVIDIA, right?
Right, from NVIDIA, right. Mm-hmm. I think, who told, did Ralphie tell us about this? Or Scott?
Ralph. I think it was Ralph. Maybe Scotty.
I think it was Ralph. I can't remember, but maybe both of them said it. Anyway, or maybe it was Cowboy. Who knows? But anyway, got them real cheap, $9. And I was like, okay, well, what supports it? Max Payne 3. And I'm like, oh, sweet. I never actually played that. I've played Max Payne 1 and Max Payne 2. And
but you have to have a special 120 hertz monitor, 240 hertz or whatever it is.
Right, and I do.
Okay, you do. Okay.
So it's no big deal.
Yeah.
So anyways,
is that the only game you could find, really?
Well, there are others.
No, it wasn't the only game I could find.
It's the only one you own.
WoW supports it.
It was the only game that I had installed.
Yeah, WoW supports it. There are tons of games that support it.
And Minecraft has it too, but it's not nearly as much fun. So anyway, Bullet, I hadn't played it. I'd been planning on playing it, and then I got my glasses, and it's like, I'm playing it now.
Yeah, you are.
And so I remember from the first one, Bullet Time. I loved Bullet Time. I loved ducking and jumping behind things, and the slow down in Max Payne. Always loved that from the first one. And they've brought all that big time into Max Payne 3. And I love just slowing everything down because I like my fast shooters, but I sometimes have trouble. I have special needs.
That game was horrible.
You thought it was horrible? I thought it was
hated
fantastic.
You didn't like it. She didn't like it.
I did not like it at all.
That was the most divisive game I felt like in a long time because there were people like Nicole who hated it. I mean, they straight up hated it, and everyone else I knew loved it.
The experience just made me.
What was it? Because it wasn't the most cursy one I've seen much.
Oh no, it had nothing to do with the
gameplay.
No, it was just definitely not cursy. Nicole can curse with the best of them. No problem.
Was it because
I didn't like how it made just the way that they were doing all the weird trippy, and it was constantly blurry, and they were just going for this atmosphere that I was just like, I wasn't having fun. And I wasn't having fun playing.
He was always strung out on drugs, right? Yeah, so the screen was supposed to reflect that or whatever.
It just wasn't fun. Yeah. It wasn't fun. I didn't like him. I hated him.
Pain pills and drinking are Max Payne's, crutch. Well, I like him because he's kind of like a made man. He's kind of, he's going along. He's helping the,
What's the point of 3 though?
What's the point of 3?
Because in the other ones, he had a goal. I mean, he was trying to save.
He was also kind of likable in those.
Yeah,
He's helping this douchey South American cartel family.
Right.
Exactly.
Which I kind of like.
Really?
Because you're kind of like, like such an idiot. Let me help you.
This continues the trend. People either hate it or love it, and you're just one of the loves it.
You can be. That's fine.
I never played it, so I have no opinion. But
I didn't really get the whole visual aspect of it. Probably because I was playing it in 3D and I was too busy adjusting settings and trying to figure out how to make it look the best in that environment. So I probably didn't notice how dark and dingy it was because it's red cyan. I mean, it was all weird, funky colors anyway.
Yeah.
Well, it's just the motion effects and I just couldn't get my bearings and they're blurry and to top it off, like you said, I didn't like him. So why do I want to?
I liked him.
I don't like characters I don't like.
I can totally see myself being Max Payne.
That makes sense. I don't like games with characters I don't like.
Right.
Yeah. There's nothing really to compel you. You're like, wow, I'm such a jerk. I don't want to really play this.
You know what Max Payne feels like? Max Payne feels like everybody feels at their job when they work for somebody else. It's like, I don't want to do this. I'd rather be drunk and on pain pills.
Yeah.
Fine, but I'll help these guys.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. I'm glad someone's there to like it. That's fine. I think it's fine that you like it. I think you should experiment around though, because I think a lot of games just support straight up 3D, whether it supports the NVIDIA one or not. They'll have 3D options in there, and you can have some fun with that. That's good.
They do, and a lot of movies do too, but they look like crap.
Yeah.
I would like you to finish the game.
Yeah,
please.
Finish it and tell us how it ends. Does he redeem himself at all, or does the whole thing?
Maybe I got it all wrong.
I actually got a pretty good ways in, much more than a demo's worth, believe it or not. And I think I actually can finish this one.
Because by the end, he either needs to be doing something good, or he needs to be hanging half naked out of back of a dumpster with like cocaine juice falling out of his ass, or something like that. Like he needs to be a complete wreck by the end.
Juice,
or
that's disgusting.
Or he needs to. He needs to win everyone's hearts over by doing the damn right thing.
I don't want him to. I don't want him to. I want him to be a bad. I want him to be like Breaking Bad. I want him to be Bryan Cranston. I don't want him to be dumb, making stupid mistakes, and ends up dead.
Okay, that's what you want. Oh, spoiler! Jeez.
Jesus.
If that happens. Oh yes. Oh my. I'd hate to spoil Breaking Bad. A 2-year-old.
2-year-old. It was only last. Actually, when was it? Last summer, I guess. Whatever it was. Right. Nicole, have you not seen the end?
No, I did.
Oh.
Thankfully, you big jerk. You're going to get some emails from that. I'm going to
tweet the Brian Dunaway.
You, Brian.
I'm not getting emails. I'm putting a filter in my email right now. Anything
Breaking Bad.
Send it straight to the dump.
Oh gosh. All right. So that's good. I'm glad you're playing that. You'll have to report back on that. And what the hell is anaglyph?
Oh, that's the type of 3D.
Oh, that's what it's called. Anaglyphic or something? I don't know if they
red cyan. That's just how they refer to it.
All right, as Nicole saunters into what she's been playing, apparently it's only things that are 2 years old or longer. So
hey, there's no new games. That's not true. I did pick up a new game today, and it's still installing. So I'll have to report back on that. The new Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 came out, and I really like the new system of reviews on Steam.
Yeah.
Because that was the only reason why I picked that game up. I'm like, yeah, it looks interesting, but sometimes the surface level. But a lot of people were saying good things about it. So I'm like,
that stuff is super helpful. I agree.
It's so helpful.
Yeah, I agree. For the first time in a long time. And part of it is people are being really thoughtful about what they're saying. It's not just jackanapes on Metacritic saying, I called them one time and they told me my mother was ugly, so their games must suck. It's like got nothing to do with the game. That's free for all over there. Over here, I feel like everybody's like being thoughtful, and it's multiple points of view, and
you see how long they played the game.
Yeah, I don't know how long that'll last, but
why not? That's actually an important part.
No, I'm saying I hope. Yes, I'm with you 100%. I just hope people don't figure out a way to game it and ruin it, because you know how it is. The internet sucks sometimes.
Yeah.
So for now, it's awesome, and I hope it stays that way because it's great.
Think about. I mean, like, I've played, almost 200 hours of Borderlands 2. I feel like my review could be better than a person that's played an hour of it.
Yeah, I agree. Right? Oh my gosh, if anyone I've ever met could review that game, it's you. No question.
So I really like that factor that you can dig deeper into that person's review and see what other games that they're playing and get more details before you spend your money.
Sure.
So
totally.
I don't know. But I fell back into Fallout New Vegas.
Oh my gosh, dude! I thought you beat that thing. I thought it was all done.
No, I'm still playing the DLC.
Oh, all right.
So I'm loving. I love that world.
Yeah,
damn, that's
I
a great
love
game.
that world too.
Did you play the DLC? I forget.
I did, but I screwed up. Remember, I started it because I didn't know. Right. They don't have a clear way of saying don't do this yet.
Yeah, they do.
Do they?
It's big message that says don't go in this area if you're not higher than 40 level 40.
Is it that clear? Because I feel like what it said was big trouble awaits you if you come. Or it sounded more like a story thing, and it didn't.
It says the exact level you need to be to even think about going into that area.
Well, I screwed up and went in there, and then I overwrote my old save, and I had to backtrack a bunch. It sucked. But anyway, whatever. I do love that world. I love that world.
Go back, and the Fallout Old World Blues is one I'm still playing, and I want to complete it before I move on to the other DLC.
What's the one with the arguing computer heads that just argue for an hour and a half?
The Old World Blues.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one I got in then.
Yeah, it's where Veronica voices a suit of armor and 2 light switches.
That's right. So. And when I left that room, and then something had to fight me, that's when the poo hit the fan.
Yeah, it's really tough. I'm level 50. I think.
Yeah.
50, or maybe mid 40s, and it was challenging for me. Even.
Only cheat I ever did in that game was the let me hold more inventory cheat.
I haven't done any.
I hate the limited inventory stuff. I freaking hate that.
It's almost like a game in and of itself, I think.
That's my problem with it. It's like I don't want to play that game. I did the same thing with Skyrim. Any of those Bethesda games, I just like, all right, how quickly can I get a bigger inventory? Thank you. And then I'm happy the rest of the game.
So yeah, that game pulled me back in. But
Good.
I also started playing Batman Arkham City last week because I really enjoyed the first one. And I finished that one. And so this picks up kind of where that one left off, and instead of Arkham Asylum, you're in Arkham City, which is a big prison, and Joker is sick and you're going all over and being Batman-y.
Yeah, being all Batman-like, right?
Batman-like.
He's got a cold.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of being Batman-like in all of my efforts in life. Oh, wait a minute. That means something happened here. Oh, look over there, everybody. It's Casey on the line. Hi, Casey.
Uh-oh.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys?
I'm doing fine, man. It's good to hear from you. Casey calls in randomly. I mean, just when you least expect it, there he is. And he's here to ask a trivia question about a game we picked last week, or the week before that, I suppose. And we try to answer the best way we can. Casey, remind us the game.
The game is Mario Tennis.
Oh, goodness. Who picked that?
I did.
Okay. That's a weird pick, but we'll go with it. Great.
15 love is the answer.
Oh, good. Cheater. A spoiler or something.
Right.
So tell us, Casey, what the question is, and let's see how we do.
Okay, we're trying another new thing this week, and it's probably going to end in disaster, but why not cause a disaster in front of hundreds of listeners?
Yes.
Yay.
Okay, so this is
You
what we're
sound
gonna
really
do now.
defeated
Yeah,
already.
you do
I just wanna
already.
get
It's
this
like,
out there.
oh,
Well,
we shouldn't even do this.
Here's your question.
Well, this requires a lot of work on my end, and I'm liable to screw this up, but
Alright.
let's give this a shot.
Okay.
All right. This is a 5-round question. In 5 rounds, each of you will attempt to name a playable character in Mario Tennis.
Okay.
Each correct answer is worth a point.
Okay.
Each incorrect answer is worth no points. And each repeat answer, correct or incorrect, costs you 1 point.
Okay. This is great.
So you have to listen.
Right.
Oh, what's
You,
this
as a team, must score at least 10 points to win.
We got this.
You each have 5 seconds per round to give me an answer. I
Okay.
won't tell you if your answer is right or wrong, and I must accept the first thing you say. Hint, crap and shite are not characters in Mario Tennis.
Oh, I want to play
Oh,
Shite.
this is getting really ruly.
I like Shite's power. Okay. So who starts? How do you begin it?
Okay, we're going to start with round 1. I'm going to get ready to record your answers. And Nicole, you get to go first.
Mario.
Oh,
Okay. Scott?
Luigi.
Okay. Brian?
Oh, come on now.
Bowser.
Bowser. Okay. All right. Round 2, Nicole.
Peach.
Okay.
Scott.
Scott.
Wario.
Okay. And Brian.
Oh, go ahead.
I can't think of anybody else.
Kidding me? You kidding me? What happens if he runs
Time's
it?
up on Brian.
All right, Brian's out.
All right. Round 3, Nicole.
Daisy.
All right. Scott.
Yoshi.
All right. And Brian.
I thought it was out.
No, you still get to go. You just
Nope.
got a 0 point.
No, okay.
You're still not gonna know though.
Those ghost things in Luigi's Mansion.
A boo or whatever they're called.
That's it.
All right.
Okay. Round 4, Nicole.
Toad.
All right. Scott.
Waluigi.
All right. And Brian.
Still not didn't get any more characters. I don't want to say what I've already said.
No, you don't.
Right. Fred.
Fred. Okay.
Fred was the shittiest.
Okay. Round 5. Final round.
All right.
Nicole.
All right. Who's up, Nicole?
Me.
Okay.
Oh.
I love this game.
I don't. Pass. I don't know.
No.
All right.
Me,
Scott.
right? Daisy.
I already said Daisy.
No, she already
Oh,
said
shoot.
Daisy.
All
I
right.
missed it.
And Brian.
You cost us more points.
What's yours, Brian?
That monkey character.
Donkey Kong.
Oh, Donkey Kong. That's a good one. That's better than what I was thinking. I was thinking Ape Escape.
Oh my gosh.
Just like on the PlayStation.
Ape Escape is a Sony thing. Oh my gosh, that was funny.
Okay. So let me tally up the points.
All right,
here.
tally it up, Mr. Tally Man.
Tally me bananas.
Yeah. For Donkey Kong. Jeez. The monkey one. You know, the famous monkey from the Nintendo games.
Okay, I have the tally here.
Okay.
In round 1, you scored 3 points.
Oh, good.
In round 2, you scored 2 points.
Oh, thanks to me.
Yeah,
That
thanks,
puts
Brian.
you at 5. At round 3, you scored 3 points, which puts you at 8. Round 4, you scored 2 points, which puts you at 10. And round 5 was worth 0 points.
No
What?
Donkey Kong.
Well, because I got a negative one
Well,
for
you
my
got a
Daisy.
negative.
Yeah.
Correct.
And she
Scott
did none.
repeated an answer.
So that canceled itself. That's better than negative, though.
Right, but you scored 10 points, you win.
Yay! That's fun.
Congratulations.
That's way fun. I didn't think we'd get there was no way to do a truly fun way of doing a freaking Mario tennis game thing, but that was great. I totally enjoyed that.
That was fun.
All right, who's picking the next one?
It's your turn, Scott.
I'm gonna pick. Let's do Tempest, since I've been thinking about Tempest.
Tempest.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, Tempest is it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Casey Banta, everybody. Casey Banta on Twitter. Have an awesome week, man, and let's do this again real soon.
All right.
Can't go,
I
Casey.
know. How come I can't hang up on it?
Don't you hate that? Skype should have like a big hang up button.
I got it now. Whoops, Nicole disappeared. Nope, she's there. Okay, Nicole, where were we?
I was just
Fallout.
talking about Batman Arkham City.
Yeah,
I was just
Batman.
talking about Batman.
And the Batman,
Batman.
the Batman's fun. It's a good game. Those games are great.
What did you play it on? Because I don't see you on Steam.
360,
Oh, okay.
maybe
I
PS3
have
for
it
the
on-
second one. I
have
can't
it on
remember.
PC. I haven't on PC yet.
Well, I do have them on the PC. I didn't play them there, but I think I only had them back when they still had Windows or Live for Windows crap built into it, and that got pulled. And so since it's been pulled, I don't think I even show up unless I go play it again.
Yeah, I didn't see you. I always like to compare my achievements against
Oh,
yours.
I suck, dude.
Me too.
That must make you feel really good because mine are always
Yeah, you do.
bad. I am so not focused on achievements ever. All right, well, there you go. That's what we've been playing. It's time for some news.
Need food badly. I need food.
The DS and DS multiplayer game services are going away.
Why?
Nintendo is yanking the rug out from under that business. It's time, they think, to quit doing it.
It's time to stop doing things for the customers and start doing things for Nintendo.
Well, at some point, you can't support like Windows XP is going out of service this year. This is the last year you can get any kind of support from Microsoft. After that, you're on your own. No more patches.
which
nothing.
came out what?
2002.
Well, how many years ago?
2002. So
when's it
Right.
going away?
Years
And
ago.
does that mean that Animal Crossing, New Leaf?
you can still play it. No, New Leaf is 3DS. We're talking just DS.
This is
yeah,
just Wii and DS stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
right.
3DS is still kicking, man. We're good there.
Right. This is just leaderboards and
Oh, it doesn't apply to me, so I don't care.
Yeah, she doesn't care. Screw those guys. What's the other? But there's the other Animal Crossing that was on the DS. That one you won't be able to get on your friends' servers and things. You still play it on your own, but you can't.
Right. What fun is that?
That's actually mostly the way I played mine. Did I just burp? I apologize.
I thought was that a recording or did you do that?
That
live?
was me. That was me live.
Wow.
I know, right?
That's impressive.
Didn't mean to hit that. Sorry.
What did that taste like?
This weird turkey thing I had over at the restaurant earlier today. It was not very good.
Does Nintendo generally give you indigestion like that?
Occasionally, especially when they pull services and things. So I feel a little bad about this because there's a lot of kids with DSs, and you can still buy a new DS, but that won't even be true until March 31st.
Right.
When they're
Which
not
is
going
very soon.
Yeah, they're not going to be making any more DSs at that point. And this is an incredibly well-selling machine. The dual screen portable, the DS, has sold 153 million units since it came out. The only thing that ever beat it was PlayStation 2's, which sold more than 155 million. Man, you forget how big the PS2 was. That was a beast at the time. I mean, that was a huge hit. The DSi XL.
That's the one with the camera.
Yeah, all of these are going
XL.
away. So it's not like just the lights or the DSi or even the originals. You're not going to be able to buy them new anymore. So hang on to the ones you got in case they're worth something one day, and be prepared for the fact that any online exclusivity stuff, you're not going to be able to do that very long.
Gone. What worries me the most is, I don't know. I try to compare it to, I don't know. I try to compare Nintendo to other guys, but it's.
Why does it worry you? They already have a better. They already have a better device.
I know that, but we've talked about it for years. We've talked about it for years. We're just now feeling the impact of the thing that we've talked about for years, which is to buy online content that is supported online, and then it eventually just goes away.
Yeah, the bigger question is, there's still a bigger question about when you buy something digitally, is it truly yours later? So if you downloaded something through the DSi e-store or whatever, you ever going to get that back? Is there any way to recoup it, play it again? Like, all those questions are valid. That's why I feel like, as far as platforms where you can kind of count on things being available to you in perpetuity and not having to repurchase them for newer platforms, the PC seems to have that locked up.
Yes.
They're the closest to it. Now, I'm sure there's even cases there where you can't, but good old games and other things have brought about old stuff, but that's rebuying it in a lot of cases. But if I really wanted to, I've got copies of Unreal Tournament 2003. I can go install and run and have no problem.
Right.
Name another platform where it can do that. You just can't. I can't take a 2003 version of some GameCube game and make it work in my Wii U. Or can you? I don't think you can.
Right. I wouldn't think the disc would probably fall.
I think those are only Wii compatible. Like the Wii was GameCube compatible. But anyway, the point is, I agree with you on the larger issue. On the smaller part of it, it's like, well, these especially services, you can't run. Like, how long is EA going to run a Madden 2005 server? How long?
Right.
Like, at some point they got to stop.
Right.
So. Yeah, and you forget, these aren't just magical things happening in the cloud up there. These are actual hardware, these are blades inside of a big data center somewhere that could be used for something else. So I kind of get it.
Yeah, I get it too. I think this is like just the first time I went, ooh, that actually hurts.
Best-selling titles, by the way, for that machine, for the DS, was the new Super Mario Brothers, which sold 30 million copies, Nintendogs, 23.9, and Mario Kart DS 23.3, which, by the way, will still fetch you almost the full purchase price if you sell it used on eBay right now. They are hard to find.
Nice.
And I have one. So.
Do you really?
Yeah, it was great.
Hold on to it.
Maybe the best Mario Kart game ever made, honestly, if I had to pick a winner. Pick a wiener.
Pick a wiener.
Call of Duty Elite shutting down on Friday. So there's another shutdown.
Right.
That just didn't work well.
No, it didn't.
Or else, I mean, this is what, how old? A couple of years old is all?
Right.
2011.
Yeah, now they're out. Let's see. Actually, this was today. Is it today? Yeah, today.
It's today. It is today. Yep.
Out. So if you were into that whole Elite thing, kiss your bum goodbye.
Since January 1st, you will receive double XP. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Great, that's fine. And then finally, or not finally, Disney Infinity PC playset. Have you seen this? This looks cool.
This is cool. As you know, I've talked on the show about the Skylanders, which is console, and they had one for the PC, but it was like Giants or something, and it wasn't nearly this thorough. Disney Infinity, which they've had a little free download that you could play with the characters and stuff, but they didn't have the full game like the consoles do. This is actually coming to the PC.
Yeah, a little bit more put into it, and this one has that kind of Little Big Planet style. I think that's out now, actually. That build your world thing.
Yeah, that's the free part.
Nobody else has that, which is cool. Yeah, I don't know. This isn't really for us, but it's still kind of cool.
I think it's for me because I've been on the fence. I've kind of like been going. I've already got Skylanders. I kind of want to get Disney Infinity, but I don't really want to get it for my Wii U. And it's been kind of. But for the PC, I'm like,
I think I'm going to get this because it has Monsters Inc. in it and Toy Story. And Mateo and I have been playing a lot of games together on my PC.
Yeah.
Like he'll go up and go, game.
Oh,
I'm
that's
like,
great.
okay, buddy.
That's great.
So
you
I'm
talk
just
mom into it.
Does he sit on your lap when you play, or how do you do it?
Yeah, he sits on my lap, and sometimes I'll give him a controller that's not hooked up, and we play. Right now, we're playing like match 3 games because of the colors.
Sure.
Right.
So we play like 7 Wonders of the World or 7 Wonders, and Bejeweled 3 are the two that we've been kind of going back and forth with.
That's great.
So this would be fun. He would see the characters and Mike Wazowski and all that.
My daughter's first game she ever played where she took the controller and actually did something with it because she was finally old enough was Taylor. She was 2 years old, and it was Mario 64 on the N64.
Really?
Wow. Yeah, when it came out that weekend. She was so into it. Really into it.
The controller and everything, huh?
Yeah, that giant boomerang piece of shit they used to make. Yeah. Well, I can't stop saying it. I got Tourette's today. What's wrong with me over here? Big piece of shit.
Big piece of poo-poo.
So that's going on. And then finally, we didn't talk about it because we weren't here last week, but Irrational Games, makers of the BioShock games, shutting down, man.
Right, shutting down. And initially, it really hurt my heart because I was like, no, what about BioShock? But, you know, as you read on, you're
they'll keep making BioShock games. It's not that so much. It's just what this really comes down to is a couple things. One, it's a big, expensive studio. It takes them 7 years to make anything. And 2K doesn't want to keep funding that. But also, Ken Levine is kind of burned. He's like, I want to do something else. I want to go do something else. And so he's going to go do something else.
And he's taken off over to Take-Two, right? And so, I mean...
Well, he's still at... I mean, Take-Two is still... So he's starting his own publisher... Or he's starting his own dev team. Small group. Some of them are coming from this. They're getting pulled out of this, 10 or something people. But 2K is going to be the publisher for their next game instead of them self-publishing. So it's the same people he had the relationship with before.
It hurts because I've grown to love the brand. And and I feel bad for the employees who work there. But it's not that they got a really good plan. I mean, they're really trying to place those people in the industry, you know, in other companies. So it sounds very bad on the surface. It makes me feel a little bit sad nostalgically, but I think it's going to be all right.
Yeah, he did amazing stuff. I mean, people forget about how amazing SWAT was. Their game SWAT was insane. Was it SWAT 3 or just SWAT? I don't remember.
SWAT
doesn't matter. It was really good though. And then, you know, the BioShock games, of course, are a huge deal. The System Shock stuff back in his early days, still a huge influence on everything, including BioShock. So, I mean, there's just a giant thing. And he says it himself in this letter. It's like 17 years is long enough.
Right.
I've done this for a long time, and I want to do something very different now. So he's going to go off and do something different. He's calling them story-driven, very replayable games he wants to work on. So watch for that.
I'm excited for it. It's a new chapter.
A new chapter, everybody.
They're still going to make BioShock games that take two.
Oh, yes.
So.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
Now, I mean, they may not be great. They may not be as good, but maybe they'll be fine. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Ken Levine is definitely the visionary dude, but whatever. He wasn't until he was, so why isn't there somebody else it could be, you know?
And just FYI, the second chapter of the BioShock Infinite DLC is coming out in March.
Yeah, it's their last bit, and they're done.
Yep, that's the last hurrah, too.
And they're out. They're out.
And you get to play as Elizabeth, so...
Ooh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I just had a disc eject for no reason. Why would that be? That's annoying.
Ghost.
Yeah, I guess so. Something like that. All right, let's get to a contest. And we have some keys to give away or something, right? In the chat room today.
Yes.
To a brand new car.
Yeah.
Courtesy of listener Robert Russell, he sent in 2 beta keys for Elder Scrolls Online. They are good for this weekend only. I unfortunately have a child and cannot play it, or else I would have taken one of these keys.
Yeah. I already did last beta round, and I'm good. I don't need to do it again. I'm just going to wait for the game to come out.
So the chat room listening, if you can play this weekend from today until Sunday, you can play and trial Elder Scrolls Online. I want you to find me in the chat room. I'll even say hi. So you know my name. My name is Nicole Spag in the chat room. So just send me a private message and tell me that you want one of these keys. I have 2 of them to give away. And I'll give a first 2. And then after which I have a couple of games to give away for the runners-up.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
We have well, the email just went behind. From Dan, he gave us Antechamber and Fez.
Both awesome indie games. Those are both good. Yep.
So I have 2 runner-up. So anybody that wants these games, send me a direct message.
Yeah.
Oh, I got my first one.
You got your first one. All right, great.
We got Nebo.
Nebo, finding Nebo. Good deal. Is Nebo the thing when you bend your leg and it's the front part of the knee? Is that the Nebo?
That's the one.
Like the elbow, Nebo? No?
Nebo.
I like it. I don't know.
Tim Nebo throws a touchdown.
I really hit my Nebo.
And Jerry Gertch. Jerry Gertch.
That's not a real name, is it?
That's what Gertchie or Gertchie. I don't know.
Gertchichi? Okay.
And then Ice Worm, I'm going to give you a game, and Taxi Cab, I'm going to give you a game. So.
Oh, that's sweet.
Everybody else, I'm sorry.
Premature disc ejection says Free Rangers. Thank you for that. And then also Captain Kipper might be confused. He says that they made Halo without Bungie. They sucked, but they made them. That is not correct. That was not Irrational Games did not make a Halo game. You're probably mixing it up with 343 or whatever the name is. Anyway, doesn't matter. Point is, it's time for this. Whoops. No, it's not. It's an email. Here's an email. Jay wrote in. Jaybird here. He says, just want to know if Brian has had any problems with Star Wars Tiny Death Star. I had to uninstall the game because I couldn't come back. What? I would come back and all my people would have a job and I would have new levels built for me. I came back once and had more credits than before and a new elevator. Love the show. And a Steam box is something I would buy. Jay.
Right.
Jay's all over the place.
Jay's all over the place. Let me answer his question real quick. Star Wars Tiny Death Star have had no trouble at all. But I'll tell you what, man. You got free labor going on. Let it happen.
Yeah, just let it go, man. Let it go.
Let it happen.
Don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. Everything's going to be fine.
But that is interesting. It kind of sounds like he's on a party line or something. It's like
yeah, that was weird. Also, I really want a Steam box. And hey, check out that bird. Woo, shiny. It's like something's going on there.
Love it, Jay Bird. Thank you.
Thanks, man. It's time for let's do this.
We're kicking it old school.
It's time for old school, old video games. Something we like, something we think about fondly in some way or another. Even if it's not a good game, you still have some feelings about it. And today is no different. Today we cover the game Killer Instinct, the 1994 arcade game. Some would say classic. I don't know if I'd say that for sure. It was originally an arcade game, but was talked about as a thing that would come out for the N64, although it wasn't called the N64 then. It was called the Ultra 64. And here's a clip of that. Listen.
Available for your home in 1995. Only on Nintendo Ultra 64.
That's back when they... Oh, shoot, you guys changed the name? We got all these arcade machines yelling Ultra 64 at people.
Ultra 64.
That just shows that Nintendo don't care, man.
They don't give a poo.
You do what you want to do. There's this new Killer Instinct. What's the full name? Killer Instinct...
2013. This is called a Killer Instinct.
No, isn't it something else? Anyway, it's the Xbox One game where you download fighters. It's free to play, and you can pay for new dudes, including Jago, who I'm going to play here in a minute. I cannot remember the name of it. Chat room will tell us. It's like Killer Instinct Huevos or something.
Huevos.
It's some name.
Cheros.
Or something. But anyway, the whole combo. Is it just Killer Instinct? Okay, Robert E. says just Killer Instinct.
That's what I said.
I know. I just didn't believe you, but now I might. I might believe you. It was... The thing about it that made it weird at the time was it was kind of Mortal Kombat-like in its violence, but also it wasn't mo-capped, but it was a similar process, but it was using pre-rendered characters. So they were done kind of StarCraft 1 style, where they were built, in 3D Studio or whatever, and then they were, all these frames were created for the different animations and moves and everything. And it looked fine. It was, for its time, it looked pretty good.
It's like you have a little bit of hate for this game, but I
don't
kind of
like
liked it.
I don't like Killer Instinct.
It was later in the arcade time period, and they had some of the, so I would occasionally get in there into the arcade, and Killer Instinct. First thing I noticed was I was like, who is that Ray Harryhausen skeleton looking thing on the side of it?
Yeah,
with the shield.
They did
and so and so I would play this, and I had fun. And I had, it seemed a little bit more offbeat than Mortal Kombat. So it's kind of like when you have, a Pepsi or a Coke. It's kind of like, yeah, I love Coke primarily, but an occasional Pepsi's not bad.
I liked them all. I liked Street Fighter. I liked Tekken. I liked Virtua Fighter. All those are good. I did not like this.
You didn't like it?
I liked the MK games. All that stuff was fine, but this game, I don't know, something about it. I think it's the way it moved or looked, or I just didn't like that pre-rendered thing. I thought that was weird looking. Anyway, bottom line is it's a classic to some, and to others a mediocre experience. But nonetheless, here is some sounds of Jago fighting in that game. He's fighting the dog character.
It's a dog character, which I love.
What was his name?
Doggy.
Dog Man.
Dog pants.
They had a lot of no mercy moves or danger moves in the later versions that were basically Mortal Kombat fatalities. So there was a lot of, it was kind of there like, hey, check us out, we're doing Mortal Kombat. And this was the guys who did Banjo-Kazooie, freaking GoldenEye, Rare. This was Rare.
Right.
Back when Rare was still Rare and not some weird thing that Microsoft hides in a closet now, whatever they did after they bought them. Yeah, so
Rare
there it is.
In the closet.
In arcades now, everyone. Go check it out. That's Killer Instinct, 1994, the year my daughter was born.
Oh.
And
I graduated high school.
Good Lord, girl. I was in that hospital room telling Kim to push while you were trying to put on a gown and a cap. That's amazing. Well, actually, it would have been right around then, too, because it would have been... No, it would have been like June you graduated, right?
May.
May? Or did you say nay?
May.
Nay. All right. Well, that is the show, and we are done, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. I know I did.
Me too.
I'll tell you right now, there's stuff going on in the world of these other two people I work with here on the show, and let's start with Brian. Brian, what are you doing that you want people to know about?
Hi, I'm doing Comics Coast to Coast, and we have new episodes up. And you should check them out. ComicsCoastToCoast.com.
Coast to Coast, you can find it on ComicsCoastToCoast.com and on iTunes.
It's an Ultra feed.
It's on the Ultra feed, yeah, except your feed's busted right now, so I can't get episodes over. I know.
What?
You got to fix it. There's something up. You got some standards issue going on.
Usually I have the problem with my feed.
It's usually her or Mark have these issues, but it's just you three. Everyone else has been fine. Nicole, what's going on? Nerd Parents, what else?
Nerd Parents, Lazy Elite, planning the podcasting track for Nerdtacular.
Woo!
Yeah.
We should probably mention that tickets are on sale.
Yeah, tickets on sale now. Nerdtacular.com. Everything you need to know to get your tickets now. They're going way quicker than last year. That's like frightening how quick they're going this year. So
we have 3 tracks this year. We got a lot of cool stuff happening. You want to come to this
podcast track, the comic track, and then the one I'm sort of in charge of. I shouldn't say sort of.
The Frog Pants track.
The Frog Pants track, yes. bunch of great stuff. July 4th weekend here in beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah, and Snowbirds. Beautiful, awesome resort, and people should come, and it's rad. And get your tickets now at nerdtacular.com. Thank you. And for reminding me.
And I would say too, Brian and I are also planning Dragon Con at the end of August and September. So we're like really ahead of the game.
Organizational fiends, the two of you.
I know, right?
It's insane.
We must put all of this stuff together.
Incredible.
So, find more information at dragonconpodcast.com.
Very nice. You can email us podcast at finalscoreshow.com. Why is that broken? Hold on. That's not working. Oh, I know why. Podcast at finalscoreshow.com is our email address. You can find us on the website, finalscoreshow.com, on Twitter, TFS Show for the show, TFS Show. You can find me at Scott Johnson, Brian at The Brian Dunaway, and Nicole Spag is for Nicole. That's Nicole Spag, one word. Find everything else you need to know about us at the site. That's a good place to go. That's finalscoreshow.com. That'll do it for us, for me, for Brian, and for Nicole. See you next time.
Bye.
Blah, 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 blah. Yay! All right,
Goobly.
I'm going to go prep for Current Geek. Okay. That was fantastic. Thank you, everybody. Go.
Bye.
Let's play Hawken, everyone. Hawken.
Okay, let's do it.
Hawken.